Good to see you again, Gaffer, and I suppose the footballing world still in shock and a bit of sadness about the news of Justin Edinburgh over the weekend. Someone you knew, and a desperately sad situation.
Yeah, I know Justin very well. We met obviously through playing, and it's a great guy, really great guy, and a fit guy. We all thought he was looked after himself, but devastating news for everybody concerned. Certainly for his family.
You will often hear and read warm tributes of someone when they pass on, but does the sheer force of the tributes that have come through and the magnitude of them reflect what you're saying there? He was very well respected and liked in the game.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's anybody who knew Justin knows what he's like. Really bubbly character. Like I say, looked after himself. Very good coach, and the main thing, a really top guy. And when someone passes away and so young, it's a lot of people, and it just puts things in perspective. But it's devastating news certainly for everybody concerned who knows him.
A lot of things in comparison in football seem small, of course, but talking about the job and the role here, a couple of few weeks in now, how have you found the initial parts of it?
Yeah, like I say, I'm just waiting to go. A lot of it's really been sort of meeting everybody. Certainly meeting the staff, looking through like the pre-season. Like I said before, I have a lot of the clubs I've been at. I've always been responsible for planning the pre-season, making sure the players are fit, combining it with the football work that's needed to be done, and it's going to be no different here. So I've just been putting everything in place really. Obviously, a lot of my time early on was concerned working with trying to sort Joe Ironside out, see the possibility of him staying. We tried really hard to keep him, but like I say, now a lot of my time now he's speaking to other players and trying to bring some more players in, and certainly a replacement for Joe.
It's one of those where, like you've said, a big blow to lose him, and I know the cliche, players say it was a tough decision to leave. It really was for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had everybody knows. I know Joe really well. I had several conversations with him. I can't tell you how many. Almost every day, seeing where he was. Obviously, he went away on holiday. It was something that he's been fighting. I've known him since he was a kid, and he's always wanted to play league football. That's been his goal. He's had an opportunity to do that, and he just didn't want it to pass him by. So he goes with our blessing. He's a top lad, and everybody knows he's a top lad. We'll be monitoring obviously how that situation goes. And wish him well. I hope he does well, because he's a really good lad. But under no illusion, we tried really, really hard to keep him here. But we have to respect his decision that he wants to play league football, and we can't do anything about that.
You've mentioned having to move on and look at targets. I'm sure as a management team, your list will be pretty long. A case of making plenty of phone calls, getting references, talking to people about people, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's obviously using contacts. Obviously, I've been in the game a long time. It's using contacts. Obviously, there's a lot of players that the club have looked at, have been monitoring. And it's just really seeing what's available. We want the best what's available. There's making calls to make sure that we try and get some lined up and see where the situation is. But like a lot of clubs now, everybody will want to go in, want to do the pre-season with their own club. They'll want to be, go in front of their own managers and see if they can get in their own teams, and and it's no different. So it's going to be probably a little bit of have to be patient, and we'll monitor every situation of every player. We've got a list of players that we were interested in. It's just now to see what's available and bring the right ones in at the right time. But certainly, there's a lot of people that have contract. There'll be a lot of people who have had a lot of phone calls from people who would like to come on trial, and it's that situation. Where we are, and we'll see where it takes us before we start the season.
And you touched on it there. You used the word patience. Does that where the experience of someone like yourself there in this managerial and coaching capacity comes in? Because I guess for a lot of managers, you could fill your squad of 16, 18 in the first week of close season if you wanted to, couldn't you? It's about biding your time and waiting for the right ones.
Well, it's a catch-22 really, because obviously you'd like your squad to be together very quickly so you can do the work. But what you end up doing, there's a lot of players who would feel, they're out of contract, or would feel that, with all due respect, there might be a better move for them, or a bigger move for them. But as it starts to progress and the season starts to get closer, they might have to make some decisions, and if the clubs aren't there that they feel that they could get, then that's where we can, where maybe we can step in and take some players that we, certainly in June we might not think we've got no chance of getting, but as we're getting towards end of July, we might have a few to choose from.
And when that situation arises, do you also have the opportunity and the good position of getting some players perhaps who feel they've been wronged and perhaps not got the opportunity they would have liked? They come here perhaps with a bit of hunger and a bit of a point to prove.
Yeah, I like a bit of everything really. I like young players who giving them the opportunity. Certainly we've got young players here. I'll be certainly bringing some of the young players into our pre-season to see where they are, because sometimes you can look for something and it's under your nose, and unless you do your due diligence properly and really have a look at what we've got at this football club, then it's very difficult to make some decisions until you know what's around you. So I'll be certainly bringing players, because a lot of the work we know we need the bodies to do it anyway. So I'll be certainly having a good look at what we've got at the football club.
And whether it's the likes of someone like Jaden White, a young lad who's impressed very much last season, and Reece Taylor-Randle, who's been around the academy for a few years now, is it about, I guess, finding a blend, but also giving the younger talent within a football club setup the chance to prove themselves?
Well, yeah, it's just giving people the opportunity. I think the big thing is a lot of the complaints, if you like, at football clubs is our young players don't get the opportunity, whether it's at this level or at Premier League level. And I think if the players are good enough or they've got potential, then you need they need opportunity. But they've got to be good enough. They've got to come in the environment. I'm not expecting young players to set the world alight, but I'm certainly looking at the way they are, the way they conduct themselves, their enthusiasm, attitude. You give me those in a young player, and I can work with that, and I'll certainly make that better.
Harriers fans have responded to the news of your first couple of signings, and obviously your arrival here as well. Season ticket sales the last couple of weeks have gone well. They finished this week. If you had a parting message for anyone who's sitting on the fence, whether to get a first season ticket here or whether to renew, just for them to come along and support the lads?
Yeah, I mean, I've done quite a few interviews now, and well, the big thing that I mentioned is I want this place to be positive. I really want us to, I want it to be different. I want a different vibe. I want it to be positive. I want the supporters to be positive. The supporters will be positive if we give them something to be positive about. And I think obviously one of the things is obviously how we play, what we can bring in, and certainly how we go about our business. And it'd be great to have certainly a stadium full, getting behind the team, and that's what I want. That's what certainly the players will want. And we'd like to see people here. And
you've mentioned before, just lastly, the importance of forgetting everything and everyone that's come before and starting with a clean slate and everybody pulling in the same direction this season. You can't really underestimate how important that is, can you?
No, it's not. Everybody says it, but it is. It's really important because some players will be disillusioned with what's happened, the season before or previous managers that they've worked with, and it's up to me to show that it is a clean slate. I do have a way of working. I do like, I do know what I like to see, and I'll be talking to the players when we come through the door of what that is and what that looks like, and I don't care who they are, whether they're 16, they're 19, they're 25. If they're showing me that and they're giving me that and that fits the team, and everything we do is going to be geared to this team getting better. It's not about individuals, it's not about me, it's about this team and this football club, and I'm going to try and pull this together. and like I say, I know what it looks like, and I'll be fighting to get that, and hopefully we'll see the fruits of that as we're going along the season.